All right. Sunday night, what are we making tonight, Mr. Snook?
Okay, we're back to the OG cocktails here with the Sazerac.
Ooh, what's a Sazerac? You've got something special on the counter there.
Yeah, it's an old-fashioned style of drink, but absinthe is a defining ingredient.
Are we not going to poison ourselves?
No, this is a modern and guaranteed safe. Has wormwood but no poison in it. Comes from Germany. I trust them not to poison us. And so we're actually going to start by pouring a little bit of this straight into the glass that we're going to serve from. Just a splash is enough. And we're going to put that in the freezer while we do the rest, just so the glass is nice and cold. Okay. Now this is a very old cocktail, maybe one of the oldest coming out of America. It was invented in New Orleans before the Civil War there. And at that time, it was very much a French city. And this cocktail was originally made with French cognac. I have some cheaper French brandy here, which I'm going to start with. I don't really put the fancy spirits into this because I think that the character of it comes from the mix-ins, not from the base spirits, so it's not worth using anything fancy. But actually, over time, as American whiskey started to take off, the brandy was replaced with rye whiskey. Rye whiskey is stupid expensive and hard to get in Australia, except for a couple of brands which are not that great and not really worth it. So I go all the way north to Canada, Canadian Club. It's a rye whiskey, it's pretty light flavour, works fine in cocktails. And what's fashionable to do these days is to actually use a 50-50 mix of both spirits. So I'm going to do that. One measure each, brandy and rye whiskey. And an ounce of this.
And you're going to shake it?
I'm not going to shake it actually, I'm just going to mix. Traditionally this would have been mixed, even if you get into a bar today, they usually mix it in a glass in front of you, just for the show, but we're at home, we're not showing off. The other key ingredient of this cocktail is Peychaud's bitters. They're kind of bright red if you can see it. This also comes from New Orleans. He was an apothecary there and made the bitters for this bar that was making this drink. Been making it ever since. 2 good dashes of this is about right, I think. Okay. And we need a little bit of sweetness in this, and sugar syrup traditional, but I kick it up with some maple syrup. Goes well with the Canadian whiskey. And about a bar spoon, a good sort of generous slug of that, just to taste. Depends how sweet you like it. Give it a bit of a stir. Too much time in the chem lab, I tend to stir my cocktails like this. So it's nice and cold, you retrieve that glass. It's also nice and cold. And what you want to do is just swirl around so that the absinthe really coats the whole inside of the glass, but then you throw it away.
You throw it away?
Yep. So it's a really strong aniseed flavour and it would overpower the drink if you put any more. I've seen it done where they like pour it out into a little tiny glass and you can drink it, but really just you just want a hint of it. Pour out the spirit. And the traditional garnish here is lemon zest. This lemon's had a few garnishes taken off it already, but that's fine. Try to do it over the glass so that some of the oil sprays into the glass, gives it a little bit of flavour.
Do you put any ice in the glass?
No, generally this one goes straight up. That's why I chilled the glass well in the freezer beforehand. You tie a little knot in that. You can wind it around a toothpick or something if you want. However fancy you want to be. Drop them in there. And there you have Sazerac.
Very cool.